Dear learners, we are in the 11th week of our marketing course, Art and Science of Marketing from Basics to Breakthrough. In this week, Module 11, Week 11, we are covering Managing Organization and Control or Managing Marketing Organization and Control. In the first two lectures, we covered the organizational structuring and the departmentalization which is required for marketing. Now in this third lecture of week 11, we are going to cover the evaluation and control in marketing. What is the purpose of control, why we need to have control, and why we need to evaluate the performance. I, Dr. Asutosh Mohan, Associate Professor at Institute of Management Studies, Banaras Hindu University, would like to start the session with two of the session objectives. The first objective, to understand the role of marketing evaluation and control in strategic success. That is what the purpose of the entire session is. Why we need to evaluate, why we need to control. Definitely the purpose is to get the success at the marketplace. Then we try to differentiate the strategic, operational and tactical controls which are providing the different possibilities to the marketers to rectify if required. Let's begin with the story. A story of Tata Neu started in 2022 with much of fanfare, but within a month it faced decline user retention. A strategic evaluation conducted by the Tata, and it revealed the gaps in customer engagement and the value proposition. This specific evaluation with a symptom which was captured by Tata in terms of decline to those particular subscriptions, they realigned the offers and content which converted the fortune of Tata Neu. So the prompt, the question which we need to answer, what if they have waited longer to evaluate? Just imagine, if they had waited longer to find out the reason for failure, don't you think that will create a kind of situation where there is no possibility of return? So continuous evaluation, capturing the symptom and accordingly taking the corrective action is point to understand, and that is what we need to think in terms of evaluation and marketing control. So if you wait till the end and then try to find out what happened, then possibly you are missing the opportunity for rectification, for corrective actions, and you may not be able to revert the situation in your favor. That is why we have to have understand why evaluation and control matter in marketing. It actually ensures the alignment with the business goals. That is very crucial element. It facilitates the mid-course corrections, because that's what we understand. If you just wait for the end, then it may definitely end in undesired manner. So if there is any possibility to intervene and take corrections and turn the fortune as per your requirement, that is what mid-course corrections are. It identifies the ROI, effectiveness and waste, that is return of investment, effectiveness, and what can be the waste possibility if it is functioning like this. And finally, it supports the evidence-based decision making. Evidence-based decision making because you are capturing the present, you are evaluating the present and then comparing with your plan. So you are not working in isolation. You are actually witnessing the happenings, comparing the same with plan and then taking corrective action. That is very crucial, and that is why the evaluation and control is utmost requirement, not only in marketing but in all the functions of organization, and that is why the planning and controlling are integrated in every organizational activity. What is marketing control? A technical definition, a technical understanding. Let's take a look. Marketing control is concerned with analyzing the performance of marketing decisions, identifying the problem and opportunities, and taking actions to take advantage of opportunity or resolving problem. Simple, and that's what we discussed till now. It's basically related with capturing your present performance, related with different strategies of marketing which you implemented at the marketplace, and then identifying what actually the implication of those implementations, whether it is able to encash the opportunity, whether it's good to avoid certain kind of threats. If you find if it lacks certain element either to encash the opportunity or avoid the threats, then you take corrective action, and corrective actions are basically guided for the same objective of encashment or avoidance. Is it so? Very natural. Now let's see what the marketing control process is. It starts with the first step of goal setting. What do we want to achieve? If you don't have any goal, then possibly you can't control. Yes or no? It's very natural. Because whenever you try to identify what you achieved and what you want to achieve, it is bound to be decided what you decided at the beginning, and that is what goals and objectives we are talking about. So what do we want to achieve? The initial point, and that is actually the component of planning, what you want to achieve. Then we move to the next one, the performance measurement. What is happening? That is talking about the present situation, what is happening. And then performance diagnosis, the third component. Why is it happening? This is basically analyzing the different happenings and comparing, not only analyzing but comparing what actually you planned for. So you analyze the present situation and compare what actually you planned for. If you find there are certain deviations, if you find there are certain gaps exist, then what you have to do, you have to go for the corrective action. Corrective action means to plug those particular gaps. Plugging the gaps is actually the corrective action, that is leading towards the achievement of your goal which you already decided under the planning exercise. Now there are different types of marketing control. For example, we are having basically 4 specific types of marketing control. The first one is strategic control. This is long term and goal aligned. Next one is annual plan control, which relate with the certain kind of performance matrices related with sales, profit, the market share, which we keep on evaluating on certain time period, and that time period might be the annual. Then we are having the efficiency and effectiveness control, where we are talking about the cost effectiveness, the market cost efficiency and the market effectiveness. And last one is the profitability control, where we are identifying the possibility of profitability not only with the product wise, region wise, and possibly evaluating the return on investment. Now what are the different factors to compare these 4 specific kind of control mechanism? Let's take one by one. On our row side, we are having the different types of control: strategic, annual, and plan control. In columns we are having the different elements, responsibility, the purpose of control, and finally the tools used for executing these kind of control. Let's take the first one, strategic control. Strategic control is obviously related with top management because it's related with the planning, and planning is usually decided by the top hierarchy of the organization. So the purpose of control strategic is to check the organization is using its opportunity with respect to the market, with respect to the product, with respect to the resources which organization enjoy, and how they can best utilize those resources to encash the opportunity. It can be performed with the marketing audit, the tool which is very popular in performing strategic control, that is called marketing audit. Audit is a kind of observation. Audit is a kind of technique where we are comparing the actuals with the possibles, where we are identifying the deviations, and where we are trying to find out whether the things are moving in tandem with our requirements. So for strategic control, marketing audit is one of the function which we may cater for. Annual plan control, the other component which is related with top and middle management, and the purpose of control is to find out the planned result that are being achieved by this annual plan control. And the tools which we are using under the same are sales analysis, the attitude ranking, market share analysis, and many other tools which talks about the happenings at the marketplace. So annually what we are capturing the market share, we are capturing the different kind of attitude or the preferences of the market, the customer preferences, and accordingly try to find out whether we are working at a right place, at a right manner, or there are certain things which are missing from our execution. Efficiency control, next level. It is for middle level management, and they simply try to optimize the utilization of available resources so as to attain the marketing goal. When I say optimum utilization rather than saying maximum utilization, because maximum is somehow denoting the exploitation of resources. Optimum is representing the best possible use of resource without exploitation, and still you are capable to achieve your goals. And that is why the efficiency control is talking about the different matrices, the different tools which can be utilized by the marketer to understand the efficiency of operations. So it may reflect in terms of the expenses ratio, it may reflect in terms of advertisement effectiveness, it may reflect in terms of identifying the market potential, how good you are to execute or perform in a best possible utilization of resources. This is what efficiency control talks about. The last one, the profitability control. This is basically a responsibility of marketing controller, and they simply try to find out whether company is making profit or not. Maybe marketing controller is a top level manager who is simply identifying whether this is feasible to carry or it's not feasible, maybe a question for drop. And this can be identified with the tools like profitability by product, profitability by market segment, trade channel, order size, everything. So we compare the possibilities of profitability with different kind of dimension. So if we identify, suppose the profitability of certain product as per the movement in their product life cycle is declining, don't you think that is a trigger point to decide the fate of that particular product, whether to continue or drop it? Similarly, in certain markets, suppose your functioning is not as per your expectation and you are not getting the profits, maybe you are incurring huge losses, then it's a point to ponder about whether you still want to serve that market or you want to withdraw from that market. And this is what the exercise marketing control at different levels try to decide the future movements and measuring the present performance. By measuring the present performance, that will be a right description to decide the future movement by measuring the present performance and with these four specific types of marketing control. So it may have audits, it may have annual evaluation, it may have the different kind of efficiency and effectiveness control, and ultimately everything turns out for any organization in terms of profitability. Whether even if I am efficient but not able to earn the profit, even if I am performing as per my plan, but still the profit is relatively far away. So what's the use? So that is what we need to understand. So some common challenges in marketing control which organizations are facing. There are certain kind of data overload and poor interpretation several times, because we try to capture the present from different touch points. For a marketer, the touch point, the number of touch points are increasing, and we try to capture all possible set of data from all possible touch point related with nearly all possible marketing operation. Don't you think you are building a big database? And if you don't having capability, if you don't have the capability to evaluate that database, interpret and infer the meaning, will it serve any purpose? That's a big challenge. And that is why the marketing analytics is coming into limelight. Misaligned metrics and objectives. What actually we are looking for? We are identifying several times. I keep on interacting with different marketing executives, and several times I identify certain marketing executives are having a kind of affection with the product, and such a deep rooted affection, if they invested a major portion of their professional career with the product, they are not ready to accept that this product might have a very bleak future. Okay. So what actually it is creating? It's creating a situation where your matrices are not permitting you to move further, but your affection and affinity to the product or brand is forcing you to go for the product in future also. So if your misalignments are there, your preferences are misaligned, your resources are misaligned, your efforts are not aligned with your requirements, definitely you cannot get what you want to get. This is again one of the challenge. Overemphasis on short-term result. This is a case where the ROI of marketing expenses, to justify the ROI of marketing expenses, is a real difficult task. And in several instances, the marketing managers just try to give an answer to different other top authorities in terms of justification for marketing expenses. We already discussed in case of advertisement, a very famous statement of David Ogilvy. Half of the advertisement is waste. Everyone knows about it. But which half is waste, no one is knowing about the same. So when your marketing department, marketing people simply concentrate on a short-term goals to justify their effort, it may lead to a situation where long-term consequences are very difficult to handle. For example, to gain market share quickly, you may offer price discounts. And if you keep on offering this price discount over a long period of time, don't you think you are playing with the future of your organization, where people will believe this is your original price, you are not giving any kind of discount. This is possible, and that is showing the short sightedness, the short term orientation to show the result from your efforts. This is again one of the challenge. Siloed teams without shared KPI. This is also possible when you identify that you are good enough to go for certain element and you need not to get the support from others. And you identify that whatever I am doing, it's perfect and I need not to go with certain other element. Take an example. Suppose the communication, the integrated marketing communication department is making big inroads or try to influence in such a big manner that people are pulled towards the retail outlet and inquire about the product. But the efforts of this marketing communication department is not aligning with the marketing logistic person. So you are creating a hype at the marketplace. The customers are asking for the product, but product is not available because marketing logistic persons are not knowing what is going to be future or what is happening at the marketplace. So if you are not aligning your efforts, will it fetch you the desired result? That's a big question to ponder about. That's a big question to think about. And this is one big challenge, how to synchronize the efforts of different department, the different marketing department, where they need not to work as a silos, a standalone entity, self-sufficient entity without bothering the consequences of their efforts to other entities. This is again a big challenge. Let's take some of the real examples. Amazon India, the real-time dashboard they are having, and they are adjusting this to regional and budget level. Amul, they are having the weekly performance review of distributors campaign and identifying which one is good, which one to carry, which one to drop. And they simply try to identify the happenings at the marketplace. Spotify, the A/B testing, A or B testing, whether A is good or B is good, they simply try to promote in-app and then identify which one is favored, and that is going for call for action. So favored one will flash more and less favored one will disappear over a period of time. So this is happening, and this is possible where you are continuously evaluating the performance and accordingly taking the corrective action. And that's what the entire essence of control is. This is what the session summary. Evaluation ensures that marketing is on track. This is very crucial. If you are evaluating continuously and identifying whether you are moving in a right direction, that's a necessity for every organization to understand. Control metrics differ by goal and strategy. Definitely, every organization is having their own set of unique requirements. So how they are functioning, how they are working, and how these matrices are changing from organization to organization, that depends on their goals and the strategy which they implemented at the marketplace, what they want to achieve and how they want to achieve it. Right tools enable smart, timely decision. So if you are evaluating in a right manner, if you are evaluating in a proper manner, then only you can identify the possibility of rectification. If your tools are faultier, if your efforts are not leading to the desired outcome, then possibly the control will also have its own possible errors to deal with. So that is why the right tools, very crucial, that will enable the smart and timely decisions. Ending with the session with session assignment, just try to identify a recent marketing campaign by an Indian brand and suggest 3 control matrices that could be used to evaluate its success. We covered 4 specific types of control and we covered the different tools related with those control. So I am not asking you to identify the types, just try to identify the tools. whether those campaigns are working good for the organization or not. Maybe just try to find out the possibility of market share. Maybe with the possibility, if you are getting the data in terms of profitability, maybe in terms of the efficiency control or effectiveness control, just try. It will take a little bit of extra effort, but you will enjoy if you do it. If you have further interest to read, you can read the book of Kotler and Keller related with marketing management and the chapter on control and audit, which will give you a glimpse how and why marketing control is an essential part of every organization. So thank you for attention, and we cover the basics of control. Next session we will try to cover the certain key performance indicators related with marketing task or marketing work altogether by any organization. So happy learning, happy staying with the course, and remain happy and healthy all the time. Thank you.